recognizing the delegate from Prince George's County for the Women's History Moment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, esteemed colleagues and guests, today we honor Women's History Month 2025 as we stand in this historic chamber for an honorary roll call, recognizing the diverse backgrounds and extraordinary contributions of women in Maryland. We begin with the phenomenal leadership of our Speaker, Adrienne A. Jones, the first woman and first African American to serve as Speaker of the Maryland House of Delegates. Speaker Jones has broken barriers and continues to guide this body with wisdom, integrity, and strength, reminding us all of the importance of leading with decency and order. Maryland is home to a diverse genre of trailblazing women who have shattered glass ceilings, fought for justice, and transformed our communities. Their legacies live on not just in history books, but in the very laws and policies we debate in this chamber today. We honor Senator Verda Freeman Welcome, the first Black woman elected to a state senate in the U.S., paving the way for the diverse leadership we see today. We honor United States Senator Angela Alsobrooks, the first Black woman recently elected to the United States Senate from Prince George's County, Maryland, whose historic achievement paves the way for great representation and leadership at the national level. We honor Senator Barbara Mikulski, the first woman elected to the United States Senate from Maryland and the longest serving woman in U.S. congressional history, a tireless advocate for working families, healthcare, and education, reminding us all that each one of us can make a difference, but together we make change. We honor former Delegate Maggie McIntosh, a true force in Maryland politics, who became the first woman to serve as chair of the Appropriations Committee in the House of Delegates, and whose leadership helped shape Maryland's budget and infrastructure, ensuring resources were allocated equitably and effectively. Delegate McIntosh was also the first woman to be appointed majority leader in the House of Delegates and the first LGBTQ elected member of the Maryland General Assembly. We honor former Delegate Wanika Fisher, the first person of both African and Asian descent elected to the Prince George's County Council, and former Delegate Aruma Miller, the first Asian woman elected lieutenant governor in Maryland and in these United States. We honor Secretary Susan Lee, the first Asian American woman to serve as Maryland's Secretary of State after more than 20 years in the Maryland General Assembly, both the House and Senate, and serving as Senate Majority Whip. We honor Ana Sol Gutierrez, the first Latina elected to public office in Maryland and who served in the House of Delegates and was appointed by President Clinton to serve as in the U.S. Department of Transportation. We honor Delegate Joseline Peña-Melnyk, the first Dominican-born woman in the Maryland General Assembly, that feisty chair of the Health and Government Operations Committee and co-founder of the Maryland Legislative Latino Caucus, who always reminds us that we got to turn from our tradition ways and recognize the sky just ain't gonna fall. And let's not forget Senator Shanika Henson, the first African-American woman to represent Annapolis in the Maryland General Assembly. Maryland's women have long led the way by demonstrating professionalism and passion in politics and public service as pioneers who fought for their self-interest and for the interests of others yesterday, today, and for generations to follow. But our work is far from over. Women still face pay gaps, barriers to leadership, and inequities in healthcare and education. Representation is more than just holding office. It's about ensuring policies reflect the varied experiences of all women. Beyond politics, women have played an essential role in areas including healthcare and education, shaping the well-being of our communities. Women like Dr. Helen Taussig, the Johns Hopkins physician who revolutionized pediatric cardiology, paving the way for advancements that save countless lives today. And across Maryland, women, nurses, doctors, and caregivers continue to be on the front lines of healthcare, ensuring our families receive the greatest possible attention and care. Educators also deserve our recognition. Our women daycare providers, teachers, administrators, and school staff are shaping the next generation, and yet they continue to face challenges of underfunding, lack of resources, overcrowded classrooms, and wage disparities. If we want to truly honor Women's History Month, we must do more than just talk about women. We must support women. That means advocating for equal pay, workplace protections, better healthcare access, and investment in education. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, and guests, as we reflect on the contribution of women in Maryland's history, we must intentionally look forward and move forward to breaking barriers for the next generation of women leaders. May we steadfastly commit to ensuring every woman, regardless of race, background, or circumstance, can succeed. Because when women rise, Maryland rises, the U.S. rises, the world rises. Like air, we rise. Thank you.